In today's business world, there's one word that you hear constantly: innovation. I mean, it's the engine for growth, right? It's the key to getting ahead. And honestly, for a lot of companies, it's about survival. But the big question is, how do you actually make it happen? So let's dive in. For this explainer, we're going to be using the incredible work of Gerard J. Puccio and John F. Cabra as our guide. We're going to break down their systems approach to really get a handle on how creativity works inside an organization. And look, this obsession with innovation, it's not just a feeling, it's a cold, hard, strategic priority. A major global survey found that a whopping 66% of senior executives rank innovation in their top 3 corporate goals. Think about that. That's 2 out of every 3 leaders saying this is absolutely essential for the future. And why is there so much focus on it? Well, it's because the ground is constantly shifting under our feet. Technology, society, everything is changing faster than ever. Products that used to have a shelf life of decades might now only be relevant for a few months. So in this kind of environment, you really only have 2 choices: adapt and get creative, or you risk being left behind. Okay, so what are we even talking about here? Let's get a really clear definition. Notice the keywords: individuals working together. This is so important. It reframes creativity not as some lone genius having a eureka moment, but as a team sport, a collaborative effort. So if it's not some mystical force that just strikes like lightning, what is it? Well, this is where we have to shift our thinking. Organizational creativity isn't magic. It's a system. And just like any other system, it has parts that you can understand, that you can manage, and that you can even improve. And this model right here illustrates that idea perfectly. This is the creative change model, and it's basically our blueprint for this whole discussion. As you can see, it treats creativity and innovation not as a single event, but as the outcome of several key parts all interacting with each other. So let's break them down one by one. All right, component number 1. It all has to start somewhere. And in this model, it starts with the individual, the person. The Harvard researcher Teresa Amabile really hit the nail on the head with this one. I mean, think about it. It doesn't matter how great your company's strategy is, it's all powered by the creative potential of your people. They're the ones who provide the raw material. Amabile's work actually identified this powerful trio of traits. First, you need domain-relevant skills. You got to know your stuff, right? You need the expertise. Second, you need creativity-relevant skills. Things like being persistent, being okay with not conforming, being able to suspend judgment. But the real accelerator, the thing that makes it all work, is the third one: intrinsic task motivation, a genuine passion for the work itself. You really need all 3 of these for an individual's creativity to catch fire. But here's the thing. You can have the most creative person in the world, and they just can't thrive in a restrictive or toxic place. And that brings us to our second, absolutely critical component: the environment. If we look at our model again, you can see the environment is like the container for everything else. It's the psychological and the physical space. It's like the soil, where ideas are either nurtured and can grow, or they just wither and die. And, decades of research have shown us exactly what that soil needs. On the good side, things like freedom, autonomy, real support for new ideas, that stuff creates psychological safety. And the barriers, they're just as obvious: crazy deadlines, impatience from the top, and a culture that's terrified of risk. And this isn't just theory. Just think of Google's famous 20% time, which is where products like Gmail came from. That's building freedom right into the workday. Or look at the design firm IDEO, where people can customize their own workspaces into these unique nests. It's all about fueling that personal expression and creativity. Okay, so you've got creative people, and you've put them in a great environment. You're guaranteed success now, right? Well, not quite. You still need to channel all that potential. And this is component number 3, the process. Let's go back to our model. See how process connects directly with person? This shows us a really key insight. Just having potential isn't the same as getting an outcome. You need some kind of structured approach to turn that creative spark into a real, finished innovation. This is a total game changer for a lot of organizations. The idea that you don't have to just sit around and hope for a good idea to fall out of the sky. You can actually build an engine for it. Creativity can be a deliberate, repeatable practice. And there are proven ways to do this. One of the classics is called creative problem solving, or CPS. The core idea is simple but powerful. You deliberately separate your thinking into two modes: divergent thinking, where you generate tons of wild ideas, and then convergent thinking, where you refine and pick the best ones. Another really popular one these days is design thinking. This process is all about the user. It uses empathy, observation, and building quick prototypes to solve real problems for people. It's all about building solutions for people with people. And then there's a really powerful tool called appreciative inquiry. Instead of asking, what's broken and how do we fix it, it asks, what's working and how can we do more of it? It's a positive approach that builds on the successes you already have. So you have the person, the environment, and the process. What's that final piece of the puzzle that ties it all together and really gets it moving? Well, that's our fourth and final component: leadership. Look at how leadership is positioned in this model. It's not just another box inside the system, is it? It's shown as this external force that directs and nurtures and activates everything else. Leaders are basically the conductors of the creative orchestra. And this all comes down to real, everyday behaviors. What works? Well, showing support, giving feedback that's actually useful, genuinely asking what your team thinks. And what kills creativity? Micromanaging, being unclear about the goals, and constantly changing direction. The little things a leader does every day have a massive impact. So let's bring it all home. This whole systems approach gives us a pretty clear and really powerful equation. You need the right person, working in a supportive environment, guided by a structured process, and activated by effective leadership. You need all four working together to get meaningful, creative change. The big takeaway here is this: fostering innovation isn't about sitting around waiting for a random stroke of genius. It's about intentional design. Creativity is not a mystery you have to solve. It's a system you have to build.